As I get ready to ink my sketch, I'm going to adjust a few of my brush settings in Photoshop to accommodate my own style of inking. These settings, of course, are going to be a little varied for every one of you. For this project, I'm working with a brush from the General Brushes folder labeled Hard Round, and I'm using a tip size of 10. Now, if you look in your settings bar over next to the smoothing slider, you'll see an icon for brush pressure. Looks like a little bullseye. Turn that on if you want to use your tablet brush's pressure sensitivity. Since my brush tip is set to a fairly small size, you're not going to see a lot of variation in my line weight. It's going to be subtle changes. If inking is a new concept to you and you have yet to develop a confident inking gesture, you want to do the same thing. Keep your brush size small. If you have a big brush size and a lot of variation in your hand pressure, you're going to get a really inconsistent line weight. For this project, we want clean, smooth, and even lines. Trust me, it's going to make coloring a whole lot easier. As someone who's been inking for a long time, I have a pretty confident line gesture, so I don't need a whole lot of smoothing. Often my smoothing is set to around 10%. But with this specific design, I also know that I've got some massive curves in it. And I don't want them to be all jittery, so I'm going to set my smoothing up higher than usual. I'm going to go with about 20%. Remember, you can adjust smoothing on the fly by holding the Option Alt key and pressing a number on the numeric pad. My goals with inking are to create simple, clean lines and be sparing with texture. You can see that the character's hair, an aspect I described as the humanity of the character, is really the only place I'm adding extra details to my inking. It's just my little way of bringing a little mystery and some extra depth to this character's design. Cartoon style inking is one of the more sparse inking styles out there, due to the fact that you're likely to be designing a character that will need to be sketched and inked over and over and over again. Whether it's a character for a multiple panel comic strip or a big animation project, the challenge of designing a cartoon character is to be eccentric and exciting in concept, but reserved in execution. Consider the role of every line you ink. Is it making your design better? If not, maybe save yourself the effort and decide that it doesn't need to be there. Once I've inked all my important lines, I'm ready to get on to the main event, 3D modeling. No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, it's color. Just wanted to make sure you're still paying attention.